Well, it is one of the most common and deadly forms of cancer. March is National Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month. The American Cancer Society estimates there will be 154,000 new cases of colorectal cancer just this year. Here to share the latest insights into prevention and early detection, Scripps Cancer Center and Scripps Clinic gastroenterologist Dr. Walter Coyle. Doctor, thanks for coming in. Really appreciate this. Let's talk a little bit about some of the risk factors, what people should be on the lookout for colorectal cancer.
Well, it's extremely common. It covers all ages, all genders, and all races.
Yeah.
And the risk factors are being overweight, not exercising, if your diet is high in red meats, particularly processed red meats like salted and smoked things, if you don't exercise. Even just exercising 3 times a week for 30 minutes where your heart rate's over 100, that decreases your chance of colon cancer by 20%.
So many reasons to get that exercise in.
Drinking coffee.
Yes.
Drink coffee regularly.
We can handle that
Caffeinated or
here.
decaffeinated, doesn't matter, drops your risk by 15 to 20%.
That's good to hear.
And then a diet that's high in fiber.
Okay. I think those are easy things people can do. Let's talk a little bit about the screening options. There are more screening options now than, say, a decade or so ago, right? Can you walk us through some of those?
You're absolutely correct. There's multiple ways. We can do fecal-based testing, stool-based testing. There's a blood test that gets mailed to you. You swab it and send it in. There's the Cologuard box, which you've all seen the advertisings for. And then there's now a blood test. It got approved last summer.
See, I'm fascinated by that. You can just now have your blood drawn and find this out. Walk us through how that all came to be.
Well, they look at fragments of DNA that are cancerous DNA in your blood, and then they get the test positive or negative. The problem with the test is not quite as sensitive or specific as the stool-based test, but it's still a good test in screens, and the FDA actually thought enough to approve it. So it's part of the whole thing. It would be every 3 years.
Okay.
Some stool tests are every year, and then the Cologuard is every 3. Colonoscopy, which is the more invasive test, that actually detects polyps and cancer, and you can prevent colon cancer. It's every 10 years, and now we start all that screening at age 45.
You were talking about the stats, and they're concerning. That's why it's so important that early detection happens, right? Can you get into that?
If you wait to have an advanced cancer, there's only about a 15% chance you'll survive 5 years.
Wow. Okay.
If we catch it early, it's over 90% chance you'll survive 5 years.
Warning signs, anything that people should be on the lookout for?
Absolutely. If you have any blood in your stool, change in your bowel habits, either diarrhea or constipation, or you're having abdominal pain.
There's been this trend of younger people maybe getting this, or at least coming in to the doctor's offices more frequently. Can you talk on that a little bit?
Well, that's the sobering part of this.
Yeah.
20% of all colon cancers in this country are people less than age 55, and it's now the #1 killer of men from cancer under age 50.
Wow, and what's behind all of that?
Well, if you're born after 1990, that's when this trend started.
Oh.
So we did something to our food supply. That's what I think, And there's a lot of thoughts. There's obesity increasing. The microbiome, your gut bacteria has changed, and there's a lot more processed foods. So that's why I think we want more healthy foods, less red meats, more fiber may be the key for why that's happening.
The procedure of getting this done scares off a lot of people, but it shouldn't, right? Can you walk people through that?
Well, if you do the stool or blood-based tests, if they're negative, you can be assured the test that gets done is the best test.
Yeah.
As long as you do that regularly. Right. And if those are positive, then you get colonoscopy. If you're higher risk or you're worried, you can go straight to colonoscopy, which is a good test. And they're very easy to do. Colonoscopy is every 10 years. The blood test would be every 3, and the stool test would be 1 or 3. So it's very easy to do. Don't ignore it, because that's what happens.
Used to be 50, now it's 45, right? A little earlier. What's the reasons for that?
Because of this young trend. We now think it's saving more lives if we start at 45.
Okay, so if you're in your early 40s to mid 40s, you better get checked out.
Absolutely.
Good for your health. Be around for your family. All right, doctor, thanks so much. Is there a place where people can learn more? Head to the Scripps site? Or?
Scripps.org. I have a little work I put up there, and all the information about colorectal cancer screening is all there.
Awesome. Thank you, doctor, for everything you do, and thanks for coming in and sharing your insight with us.
Thank you very much.